What if they've never really intended to eradicate homelessness? What if it's all just been a show? Because they're still there. They're still on the streets. They're still wandering through the neighborhoods of our communities. They're still sleeping on the sidewalks in their makeshift tents comprised of tarps and shopping carts. And every year at this time, I know in the local communities that I live in, they start these programs to hand out tarps and blankets and coats to all these people that are just always there year after year, all across this country. Hundreds of thousands of people, children who experience homelessness every year, tens of thousands of veterans who served their country. And instead of them being in a warm house sitting next to a fire with their grandchildren, they're sleeping under a shopping cart. And their family has deserted them. They have no family. Maybe this has always been what it's about. Maybe they have always been exploited and used by those who have everything as a deterrent for the rest of us, as a reminder that, you don't want to end up like these people, right? So what are you going to do? That's right, you're going to get up at 5 a.m. again, and you're going to go do the same thing you've been doing for the last 22 years. And just remember, you only have about 20 more, if you're lucky. And you're going to keep doing this for us as an employer, because remember, you don't want to end up on the street now, do you? Yesterday I passed a man in an alley. As I drove by, he was sitting with his back against a vacant building on the wet pavement. And he had a blanket over his head that barely covered him down to his waist, and his legs were exposed. And it was barely 40 degrees. Barely 40 degrees. And I drove by this human being who was sitting motionless. And you could see the breath coming out from under the blanket. And I thought to myself, what if this has always been the plan for decades? Our parents were subjected to this, our grandparents. I want to share a memory I have with all of you that really brought to light this idea that this maybe has always been the plan to deter the working class from rising up or doing something different out of fear and the notion that you will end up the same way. I remember when I was in 3rd grade, I think I was 9 years old, and I was riding in the car with my mom. She was taking us to school, and my mom, a lot of the music that I listen to today is because of what I grew up with my parents as well, that I have such a vast appreciation for music. And my mom would listen to Phil Collins. And do you remember his song, Another Day in Paradise? That is, I don't know if you call it a core memory, but it is a vivid memory of mine, riding in the car with mom to school, listening to that song. And at that age, understanding even at 9 years old what the message was. That this is what our parents experienced at our age. This is what they grew up with. Seeing these people who have nothing but a blanket and a shopping cart. And it really got me thinking that why is this happening still? I hear politicians and all sorts of pundits and demagogues say all the time, this is the richest country in the world. We're the shining city on the hill. There's more wealth in this country than any other country in the world. Well, where is it? Where's all the wealth? Because hundreds of thousands of human beings that live in the richest country in the world don't have anything to their name. They go inside grocery stores for a few minutes to warm up, and then they leave because we've considered them a problem. No loitering, no getting warm on our dime. And we have all these resources in the richest country in the world set up for people who have nothing or very little. Food banks, SNAP program, all these assistance programs for people in the richest country in the world. Does this make sense to any of you? Because it doesn't make any sense to me at all. We just looking to spend $1 trillion on the defense budget, the military budget, $1 trillion to rebuild our military. We spend more than the next 9 countries combined on our military and defense. We can't cut that in half for 1 year and focus $500 billion on eradicating homelessness? I mean, wouldn't that do it? Wouldn't that do it? Wouldn't that be a great start? Wouldn't that bring back the morality of this country? Wouldn't that bring back a sense of community in this country, that we're doing everything we can to lift up those who have the least? But that doesn't happen. And why doesn't it happen? Because we've been conditioned our whole lives to look down upon these people. No, they're probably drug addicts. Right. Oh, they're probably there because they choose to be out in the rain when it's 40 degrees with a blanket. They chose that life. Oh yeah, they're like hermits that live in the mountains, right? They're just urban hermits. Never mind now, little Johnny. These people out here made their choice, and they're going to have to live with it. Okay? Now let's go get your $6 peppermint mocha frappuccino at Starbucks, okay? I don't understand the country I live in anymore. I don't understand the world I live in. There are so many resources. There is so much wealth that I don't understand how this is even a problem. Isn't this a national emergency? Isn't this a crisis, a humanitarian crisis within our own country? We say that about other countries, don't we? Did you just hear the way that the President of the United States talked about these other countries just a day or two ago? How he berated and derided countries like Somalia and Haiti, and how he talks with them with the utmost disdain because they don't have the resources or the government or the corruption that we do. If there's anything that we have in this country, it's corruption. Right? And you're not going to take money from the corruption in this country to feed the starving children on the streets. No, you're going to set up a bunch of programs so they can get tarps and blankets once a year. That's what we're going to do in the United States of America. Oh, sure. And we're going to set up all these food banks with food that's either expired or close to expiry because they don't deserve to have fresh food. No. And everybody's going to have to volunteer all of their time they don't have because they're working their whole lives away and sacrificing their lives away from their family and friends just to take care of these people because our government can't figure it out and there's too much money to be spent on other things like bombing little children in other countries and mining resources and exploiting human beings in other parts of the world. I mean, that's more important than taking care of the national crisis that has been going on since our parents were little. And I know this to be true because that song I listened to when I was 9 years old talked about the same exact thing that is even worse today. I don't want to hear that we're the richest country in the world anymore. I don't want to hear it because I don't believe it. Because I just look around. And it's the exact opposite of what they tell us.